Football legend or a racist bully? Peter Beardsley's legacy is stained by accusations of racism and bullying, but did he really do it? Is he truly a racist in plain sight or a victim of false accusations? Let's turn the pages and find out. Born on January 18, 1961, in Hexham, Northumberland, England, Peter Beardsley grew up in a working-class family in the Newcastle area. From a young age, he displayed a natural talent for football, playing at the local youth levels where his skills quickly drew a lot of attention. Talking of his education, Beardsley attended the Valley Gardens Middle School in Whitley Bay and later the Monkseaton High School, where his football abilities continued to flourish. Despite his evident talent, his path to professional football was not straightforward. Peter started his football journey at Wallsend Boys Club in North Tyneside, and let me tell you, this is not an ordinary club. In fact, this club is pretty famous for churning out talented players and making their careers, but Peter's journey from there to professional football was anything but smooth. Back in 1977, Peter and his teammate Steve Bruce got a trial at Gillingham, which was in the 3rd division at the time. After all the scrutiny and selection, they signed Bruce, but Peter, they turned him away. Imagine that. And it wasn't just Gillingham. Burnley and Cambridge United also passed on him. It must have been tough, facing rejection after rejection, but Peter didn't let these setbacks stop him. In 1978, he kicked off his professional career with Carlisle United. Over the next few years, he really found his groove, scoring 22 goals in 104 league games. He was pivotal in helping Carlisle win promotion to the 2nd division at the end of the 1981-82 season. That was his first big break. Then, Peter found new adventures and spent 3 seasons playing in Canada with the Vancouver Whitecaps in the North American Soccer League. Quite the change of scenery, right? After his stint abroad, he briefly joined Manchester United. But things didn't really work out there. He only got to make 1 appearance in a League Cup match against AFC Bournemouth. But here's where it gets interesting. In a turn of fate, in September 1983, he returned to where he had started his youth football, Newcastle United. Right from his debut the following day against Barnsley, he quickly became a fan favourite. His knack for scoring and setting up goals was evident as he notched up 20 league goals that season, helping Newcastle secure promotion to the 1st division. He was great, you know. In fact, he was so impressive that his performance caught the eye of Liverpool, and in 1987 they signed him for a record fee at the time. At Liverpool, Peter formed a terrific partnership with John Aldridge and later Ian Rush. He was a key player in their dominant seasons, including a nearly perfect league run in his first year there. Although they missed out on a double with a loss in the FA Cup final, but his contributions were big. Liverpool was also a time of emotional highs and lows for Peter, especially after the tragic Hillsborough disaster in 1989. It was a tough time for everyone at the club, but they pulled together, winning the FA Cup that season. Then, in 1991, Peter switched to Everton, and yes, he kept up his goal-scoring streak, even making a mark in the Merseyside derbies. But Newcastle called him back in 1993. Under Kevin Keegan's management, they were a force to reckon with, almost winning the Premier League title. But you know, fortune doesn't always favour you. You know, one thing that really set Peter Beardsley apart was his knack for reading the game. It was almost like he had a 6th sense. He always seemed to know where the ball was going to be next. That allowed him to make these smart runs, finding gaps in the defence before anyone else even spotted them. This wasn't just about scoring. It meant he was great at setting up plays too, really boosting his team's attack. And his dribbling was absolutely top-notch. Beardsley could weave through defenders like they weren't even there. His footwork was quick, his moves unpredictable. This wasn't just about dodging tackles, it actually pulled defenders out of position. That created loads of opportunities for his teammates by opening up spaces on the field. It was like he had this magnetic effect, drawing players in, and then suddenly he's past them and someone else is scoring. Plus, Beardsley was known for never stopping. He had amazing energy and determination when he played. He always kept running, chasing after the ball even when it seemed like a lost cause. He put constant pressure on the other team, really showing that he never gave up. This made fans love him even more and made it tough for anyone playing against him. Towards the end of his career, Peter had stints with a few more clubs, including Bolton and Fulham, before retiring with Melbourne Knights. Through all these years, Beardsley wasn't just a goal scorer. He was a player who really loved the game, always giving his all on the pitch. That's why fans across every club he played for remember him fondly. Quite the career, right? Who knew he would be accused of something as terrible as racism, right? After finishing his playing career, Peter transitioned to coaching and took on various roles at Newcastle United. In 1999, he stepped in as assistant manager to Howard Wilkinson, who was briefly the caretaker manager of the England national team. This was right after Glenn Hoddle was dismissed and before Kevin Keegan took over, and this is exactly where all his trouble began. In 2003, there were accusations that he had bullied 2 youth players at Newcastle, but he was cleared of these charges, thankfully. However, similar allegations surfaced again in 2018, and this time it was serious. Now, before we touch on this sensitive topic, let's first know about his managerial history briefly. In 2006, Beardsley left Newcastle after Glenn Roeder became the manager. He then worked in media for a bit. In 2007, there was talk of him joining the Republic of Ireland national team, but it didn't happen. He almost returned to Newcastle in 2008 when Kevin Keegan came back. Beardsley eventually returned to Newcastle in 2009 as a coach, working with young strikers and later managing the reserve team. In 2010, he even briefly managed the main team after Chris Hughton left, but his coaching career hit a snag in 2018 when he was placed on leave due to allegations of racism. He left Newcastle in 2019, and it was later found that he had racially abused 3 black players. As a result, he was banned from football activities for 32 weeks and had to take a course. The problem started in 2018 when some players accused him of bullying. He was put on leave while this was investigated. Despite these issues, Beardsley has done a lot for football, especially in coaching young players at Newcastle over his nearly 40-year career. He has a UEFA coaching badge, which shows his skills and dedication. Recently, Beardsley came back to Newcastle as the football development manager after his ban ended. This allows him to keep helping players grow. However, the recent problems have hurt his reputation even though he has done a lot for English football. This case really shines a light on the broader struggle against racism in sports and in society. It underscores just how crucial it is to have a zero-tolerance policy toward any kind of discriminatory behaviour. Sure, Peter Beardsley's football skills are beyond question, but his actions remind us that creating an environment of respect and inclusivity is key. To wrap it up, Peter Beardsley's journey is a mix of impressive achievements and significant controversies. There's no denying his talent on the pitch, but the allegations against him have really tarnished his legacy. It's a stark reminder that no matter how high you rise, you're still accountable for your actions. The entire football world, along with society, needs to keep pushing for a future free from racism and discrimination. By tackling these issues head-on, we can help ensure that football remains a powerful force for unity, celebrating diversity and talent while firmly rejecting any form of prejudice.